We are in Copenhagen, Denmark, and we are visiting Money 2020 Europe organization, and we have a guest, John Chaplin. Mr. Chaplin, could you please introduce yourself and your organization to us?
So I run something called the Global Payments Innovation Jury, which is a not-for-profit exercise where we work with bank chief executive and payment chief executives across the world to understand how our market is changing, and then we make it available for people in the industry to download and see what is actually really going on.
So you just published a report. Could you please give us some information about your report and your vision, what you want to give an information about this world to your readers?
So the report that we just published compiles all the views of the 70 leading payment company chief executives across the world. And there are two or three things that come out of it. The first thing that comes out is that China and Asia is leading the world, not the USA. This business is increasingly driven by Asia. But second place is Europe, and I think I would very much see Turkey as a piece of Europe in this respect. And that's gone from fifth place to second place. So I think there's a lot of activity now happening in Europe that wasn't happening before. That's really great to see. But it isn't always so easy to get the finance. So lots of companies manage to start a business, but then later on when they grow, they can't get the money they need to, finish the job.
So, do you have any suggestions to the companies, fintech companies, considering to the payment ecosystem? What is the biggest challenge for them, and what should they do to overcome those challenges?
So, I'd have two pieces of advice for them. The first thing is you need to, if you want to be successful, you're going to need to be scaled. You're going to have to grow big, and you need to think that through at the beginning, not make some progress and then discover that it doesn't really work. So being able to scale the business is very good. The second thing that really matters is that if you want to introduce a new service to today's customers, it has to do something a lot better than the existing one. And as I go around the world, I see many new services, and they're just a little bit better than the old service. And that doesn't work. So you really need to think through, make sure you've got something that is substantially better than what's already out there. Otherwise, you won't succeed.
So finally, we are at a conference now in Denmark, Copenhagen, and it's about the money and fintech ecosystem. What are your expectations from this conference program and organization, and what would you like to consider about it?
I think I've been coming to Money 2020 for a few years now. This is the second one here in Europe. I think it is the best event for networking. So you come to learn, and yes, it's good to go and listen to presentations, but I think what's really good is just to meet the people and to be able to talk in a great atmosphere. So I think the single biggest thing you can do if you come here is learn from people who've done it before, and then go back to your own country and work out, a nice simple proposition that you're going to deliver.
So, Mr. Chaplin, you're also following the Turkish ecosystem, and how do you evaluate it, and how do you position the Turkish fintech ecosystem, payment ecosystem in the world?
So I've been doing business and coming to Turkey for probably 20 years, and recently I worked with the board of BKM and did a number of things. So I've got a lot of knowledge of the Turkish market. I've always been incredibly impressed by the technical capabilities, the marketing strengths, and just the sheer enthusiasm of the Turkish market. And I think that the Turkish market has done incredibly well when I look at some of the products. I think it's now got to change, and I think there'll be new players into the market. But the one thing that I've learned from my years in Turkey is how well the country is capable of adapting to new things. And I don't think it should be a conflict between fintech companies and established players. I think, to me, the best way here is partnership, and I have a lot of confidence that the Turkish banking community will very much want to work with this new generation of companies.
Thank you very much for your time and attending to us.
Very welcome. Very welcome.